Hey folks, I'm Nathan with Jones to Journey. Thanks for joining us this week. Let's get a little bit of business out of the way. Hopefully you'll like this video. If you do, hit that thumbs up button for us. And if you haven't already, ring the bell, subscribe, and that way you get notified the next time we put out a video. So if you remember a few weeks back, we started out a video, or we showed a video of us replacing our two lead acid batteries. We had two 100 amp hour lead acid batteries, and we replaced that with a 300 amp hour lithium battery, and we were able to do that because we replaced our refrigerator, our RV fridge, with a residential fridge for a whole lot cheaper than you could put in a 12 volt fridge. So we took that savings and converted that into our lead acid battery, or our lithium battery, excuse me, and also into what we're doing the video about this week, which is our inverter. And we were able to get the inverter installed, and that's what the discussion is about this week. Now, one of the pictures that we will have put up here is showing the inverter, and that inverter is a 3,000 watt pure sine wave inverter that we were able to get through Amazon, and we were able to get that installed. I hooked it straight to the battery with a fuse in between, and then I also took and I thought I sort of made a mistake when I bought it. I thought it was a battery that I could hook directly into our system and run everything, but I made the mistake and it was not, so which is okay. It worked out for us, because in trying to run everything off of the inverter, we would have had to trace all the wiring and hooked it up a little bit differently than what we have. So what we've done here is I have a little cubby. It's mainly for shoes or whatever, because it's right here next to the steps. This door slid back and forth. Well, what we've done is taken it out of its track and put command strips on it, so we can just lift it out of here when we need to. And our inverter is right back in here. Now, what I did to install that was pretty simple. Because it's such a small compartment, I measured out and marked the holes where it would need to have the screws to hold the bolts to hold it on, and I pre-drilled those, and then I slid it back in there, wired it up first, slid it back in there, and put the bolts in, or put the screws in to hold it on. And then what we did from there was we took some Romax wire, and because mainly we wanted the refrigerator to have a constant power source as we boondock and travel, we hooked a plug in the back, receptacle in the back, so I could plug in the refrigerator and ran that down here. Now, let me show you that first. Come with me. Okay, so a lot of this today, I'm explaining to you what we've done, and I'm going to show you where we've hooked it up, because the process of doing it took us over a couple of days to do it, and because of the tight spaces and whatnot, it would have been impossible to video. So we're going to show you the end result. So here's the entrance to the refrigerator. I've got this double screened, because at first I did not have a screen back here, so I just put that screening back in there. But now I have taken some caulk and some screen and screened this in so that no bugs or bees, especially the mud wasps, can get into that, and so that keeps out all the bugs. So what we've done now is to install an outlet back here. Now you can see there's already the one outlet we had originally that runs off the regular 50 amp service, so if ever I need to, if something happens with the inverter or something like that, I can always unplug from one and plug into the other. We left that here. But what we did was install another outlet that the refrigerator is plugged into. We've got the plug behind the refrigerator on this wall. We drilled a hole through that wall and ran the Romax from that point down behind the cupboards and behind the sink. Like I said, there's a little groove in there for the wiring, so that works out perfectly. And then we were able to poke into this wall down at the bottom, and there is a outlet right here behind my Keurig machine, because I want coffee while we're on the road. Ever since I've been snow plowing in New Jersey before we went full time, I've gotten used to my coffee. So I like my coffee. So right behind my Keurig is an outlet. And on that outlet is my Keurig, obviously, but it's also our weather radio and our Wi-Fi. And what we were able to do is run the wire to that outlet, so that outlet is also live all the time. It's running off of the battery in the inverter. And then run a wire from that outlet down to my inverter. So the outlet and my multi-plug here and the refrigerator all run off my 30-watt inverter. I can plug in the TV.
3,000 watt.
3,000, sorry, yes. 3,000 watt inverter. I can plug in my TV to that, so we don't have to run the generator at all to watch a little TV. I can have my Keurig, all kinds of stuff that we need while we're in motion and on the road if we needed to, or when we stop overnight in Boondock. So, and with all of that, we also wired in, the inverter came in with a monitor. And we were able to wire that in. There's a little panel in behind this. I was able to poke through, run the wire down into the compartment where the inverter is and hook it right into the inverter, nice and clean. So that tells us how the inverter is doing, how much wattage it's taking, and how my battery is doing. So how much my battery is being drawn down. It's also a battery monitor. And we have boondocked. Actually, we boondocked for 8 days. And during those 8 days, our battery never went down below 3/4, because realize that while we run the camper like in any other camper, the engine of the vehicle charges your battery also. So with that 3,000 watt inverter, 300 amp hour lithium battery, we did not have any problems at all boondocking. And I don't have any solar as of yet on my roof, so it's strictly being recharged by the engine as we drive down the road. So it was a win-win for us, because with the cost of the inverter, which was just over $300, the cost of the lithium battery, which for a 300 amp hour battery, we got a pretty good deal on it. It was under $1,000 for a 300 amp hour battery. Now, it wasn't a name brand like Lion or any of those, but it is a good, reputable lithium battery that had good reviews. So with the savings from the refrigerator, because we saved well over $1,000 not using a 12-volt refrigerator, but going with a residential from Home Depot, we were able to afford and pay for everything we had to use, the lithium battery, the inverter, and all the wiring, so that we now can run down the road and boondock without solar and without running the generator, the onboard generator, with no problem whatsoever. And we didn't have any issues with our refrigerator. It hasn't frozen, nothing has gone down under 40 degrees, so it's keeping everything cold. So it is a win-win for us, and we enjoyed it. So if you have any questions about either the battery install or the inverter install or even the refrigerator install, please don't hesitate to put them down in the comments, and we'll get back to you as quick as we can. Thanks for joining us this week, and remember, as you wander, wander with purpose. That purpose being sharing the love of God with others. We'll catch you next time and on the road.